Hello, this video shows you how to customize and use the IBM Knowledge Accelerators in a Watson Knowledge Catalog environment. To get started, from the main navigation menu, choose Organize, Data and AI Governance, and Categories, and then select the main Knowledge Accelerators category. Let's say that we're interested in using a term in the customer area. So we click on the Business Core Vocabulary and then click on the category Customer. From here, we can start to either search for or list through the various terms associated with the customer category. And in this case, we are interested in using the term agreement number. So we can do a quick scan of that term to make sure it is the one that we require. We can see that it is a property term of the concept term customer agreement. At this stage, we can also choose to change some of the aspects of the term, such as the description, or perhaps add a data steward. So we have decided that we want to use this term. So it would be good to mark this as a term of interest to us. So we add a tag to indicate that this term is going to be used. Of course, we must not forget to submit this to be published. Of course, for many clients, there may be quite a formal publication process to follow. So we notice that this term is a property of customer agreement. So maybe we want to see if we're also interested in having this term as well. As we decide that this is indeed a useful term for our needs, then we likewise tag it to indicate that it is relevant to us. In addition to tagging the required terms, it may also be beneficial to set up a specific parallel category hierarchy in WKC to collect together just the specific subset of terms that are of specific interest to this particular client. So to do that, let's go back to the main top level categories, and we see that we have already created a category called client specific. In this case, we have created just one category, but if necessary, we could have created a subset of various categories, for example, categories representing different areas of the business. So one way to populate this hierarchy is to go and start with the WKC global search. From here, we can indicate that we want to search for business terms and for terms that we've already tagged as relevant to this particular client. Now we see just the terms that we've already tagged as being relevant. Let's go into each one of these terms and go into the secondary categories. And in each case, we add the client-specific category. This means that we are creating this category as a means to collect together all of the terms that we're interested in. So now if we go back to that client-specific category, we can see that it is grouping together all of the terms that we're interested in. You can see that it is also possible to place in this category not just the reference knowledge accelerator terms, but also any additional net new terms that we've also added, perhaps terms that have come from a local glossary within the company. One way of navigating the knowledge accelerators is to use the extensive range of categories. For more details about these different categories in the knowledge accelerators, please refer to one of our other videos in this series that gives structural walkthroughs of the categories for each particular industry. Another easy way of navigating the knowledge accelerators is to use the WKC global search. First, we start with all of the terms provided, and then we may decide to select terms of a particular type. For example, we're only interested in looking at concept terms. Or perhaps we're interested in the terms within a particular category. Or perhaps we're interested in seeing a combination, say the property terms within a particular category. One last useful navigation device open to you is to explore the relationships for any term or category. This enables you to see in a graphical layout all of the extensive interrelationships that exist across the different artifacts in the IBM Knowledge Accelerators. WKC provides out of the box a set of predefined data classes. These data classes are used to underpin the auto-classification process of the WKC data discovery process. You will notice that wherever possible, we have automatically integrated the data class with the relevant term in the IBM Knowledge Accelerators. So for example, the data class account number has been linked with the equivalent term in the Knowledge Accelerator. This means that any time this data class identifies a pattern in a dataset that conforms to it, it will also be possible to auto-assign that column in the dataset to the correct term in the Knowledge Accelerator. In addition, the IBM Knowledge Accelerators also come with a range of reference data sets and associated values. Each of these reference data sets are provided with a set of values, codes, and descriptions that can be customized to address the specific needs of your organization. In addition, each reference data set has a mapping to the relevant business term in the IBM Knowledge Accelerators. If we go back to the data classes, we can see how these reference data sets can be used. Let's say we want to create a data class called alarm display type. Now we want to connect that data class to the relevant Knowledge Accelerator reference data set. We do this via selecting a matching method of reference data and selecting the relevant data set, as well as specifying any other settings that may be necessary. Now we can see that the data class has been created based on the values and codes defined in that particular reference data set. In this video, we have shown how to customize the Knowledge Accelerators to your specific needs, the different ways of searching and navigating the range of artifacts in the Knowledge Accelerators, and how to use the Knowledge Accelerators to extend the data classes used to underpin your discovery process. Thank you for taking the time to view this video.